As believers, we are called. We are called to do hard work. It's not easy work, it's hard work. And I think that people, oftentimes, believers think that that hard work is going out and having hard conversations with people. And that certainly might be part of it. But I think the hard work that has to be done is equipping yourself. You know, to say I'm just going to blindly follow people because they sound good on the internet is the wrong approach for any believer. And Rob's right. At some point, you have to sit back. You have to get some education. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to a seminary. I'm not saying that you have to go. But what I'm saying is you have to sit down. You have to, and I'll give you some steps. Like, you know, it's not just turn. And I think Rob's right. Don't get me wrong. Yes, turn off the YouTube channels, including ours, for a little bit. Yeah. Sit back and start to really study in some specific ways. Now, here's what I think people should do. If you feel like you're in that position, you have all these voices going on, you have a couple of favorite blogs, you have a couple of favorite YouTube channels, and you're listening to these things, you think, these guys are great, this person's great, but they all seem to be, you know, they're all kind of going like this towards each other. Here's what I would recommend a person do. First of all, stop, just like Rob said, and sit down and think about the deal breakers. What is the foundation of your faith? Do you believe in a 66 book canon? Do you believe in the deity of Christ? Do you believe in the Trinity? Do you believe, you know, these are things that we have to wrestle with. And yes, building the foundation first is extremely important. So that when you see things like, hey, 119 Ministries will not affirm the Trinity, that's a problem. That is a problem.
Because they're going to alienate they're going to alienate their customers.
Well, it's because they haven't built the foundation themselves, so their teaching therefore will hurt because of it. Because they're teaching from a place that does not have that foundation. And so we have to understand the foundational issues of our faith first. And this is one of the things that Rob and I have tried to do in our intros, right? We talk about sola scriptura, the 5 solas, salvation by faith alone, that we believe that the Torah, God's law, and his covenants still apply for all believers, Jew and Gentile alike. And then, I see in the chat room, Love is Bigger says sacred namers is a real issue. Now, these are peripheral issues. And what I mean by that is, yes, I think that they are a problem. If a person is making something that shouldn't be a foundational issue, their foundational issue, this is another time that we need to step away. So Love is Bigger is right. If somebody is saying, well, you have to pronounce the name like this, what they're doing is they're taking something that is not a foundational issue and they are now building it into their foundation. And that is another red flag. Get out. Don't listen to this person. Why? Because they are focused on non-foundational issues as foundational issues. I have to ask myself this, and I ask this on probably more than people would. I think people would be surprised how often I ask this. I am constantly re-evaluating, is this an issue worth leaving a community for? And I do that because I have a lot of people emailing and calling and saying, hey, this is going on in our community. How do we deal with this? So I'm constantly re-evaluating, are these issues that people should break community over? So we have to have those foundational issues. That's the very first thing. If you don't know what those foundational issues are for you, what sets your foundation? What are you building on? If you don't have that already, then you definitely need to sit back and realize what those foundational issues are. And honestly, we can find those foundational issues even through, not only from the scriptures, obviously from the scriptures is the very first place that we should go, but we can see the foundational issues being discussed throughout church history. And what have believers struggled with over the years? Obviously canonical issues, the deity of Christ, salvation by faith alone, which is one that is still going on, right? The Catholic Church versus the Reformation, so on and so forth. So all of this to say, get your foundational issues in order first and foremost. And I think that honestly, if you get your foundational issues set so that you know where you stand and why you stand on those foundational issues, then all of a sudden you can bring some of those teachings back in. If somebody agrees in all of those foundational issues, now we can start to build on top of that. I'm not going to accept this YouTube channel or this ministry because they go against one of my foundational issues. They're trying to expand the canon. Or I'm not going to listen to this teacher because he denies the Trinity, and that's a foundational issue for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications, and we'll see you in the next video.